I heard somebody say that you will waste so many opportunities thinking that you didn't deserve them. And when I heard that, I was like, honestly, that is so real. Like, you are always where you're supposed to be. Imposter syndrome is honestly like the biggest scam of life. Like, you will work so hard to get somewhere, and then when you finally get there, you'll just be standing there and thinking like,
how did I even get this? Like, is this really for me?
You gotta overcome it. And I'm not gonna lie though, this is something I'm working on myself, but there are a few things that I have been doing that have been helping me. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. How are we going to be overcoming imposter syndrome? You need to learn how to take up space, and don't be apologetic about it either. Like, never think that the table that you're sitting at is a table that you don't deserve a seat at. You deserve a seat at any and every table, girl. Don't think that confidence equals competence. Like, there are a lot of people that got to places that they are now in life just because they were confident, not necessarily because they had the qualifications to even be in that position in the first place. So if you're even thinking or even doubting yourself in the first place, 9 times out of 10, you already had the qualifications for it. You're just lacking that confidence. Honestly, imposter syndrome is something that me, myself, I'm still working on overcoming myself, but there are a few things that I have been doing that I think have honestly been helpful for me to overcome it. So I would say the first thing, limit the time you spend on social media. Why? One of the main reasons that people have imposter syndrome is because of comparison. When you think you're not deserving of something, a lot of the times it's because you think somebody else is probably deserving of it. And I feel like nowadays where that comparison happens is social media. But something you have to remember is that social media is a highlight reel. Nobody's gonna come, I mean, some people do, like, but most people will not come on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, crying to you about their problems. I mean, some people do, but most of the time when people go on social media, they're on social media because they're highlighting a happy moment in their life or something good that's happening to them. They're not necessarily going to show you what's bad. So you are comparing your everyday life to someone's highlight reel instead of comparing your highlight reel to someone else's highlight reel. And the reason I say this is because I've found myself doing the same thing. So for example, this past New Year's, at the end of the year, a lot of people were sharing basically their highlight reels. Get it? You get it? Real? Okay, yeah. You know, everything they did in the year, all the amazing things. Me personally, I did not do that. I didn't even think to do that. And even if I wanted to, I was too busy. Like, I had a lot of things going on towards the end of the year, and I was just overwhelmed, tired. Like, in the beginning when I was seeing those reels, you know, I would be like, oh cool, like they did a lot of things this year. But after a while, I was just like, oh my God, they did a lot of things this year. What did I do? I did nothing. I accomplished nothing. But I'm not even gonna say that it turned into a whole thing. But then I started talking to some of my friends, like my sister, and I was like, oh my God, like I really feel like I accomplished nothing this year. I'm like, all these people did A, B, C, D. It was to the point where I was even like, you know what? I feel like I didn't even travel this year. Like, I didn't travel that much. Mind you, like, I feel like I kind of travel a little bit more than the average person from conversations that I've had with other people around me. Yeah, and my sister was just like, what do you mean? Like, not just my sister, even my friend, they were both like, these were two separate conversations. They were just like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean you didn't do anything this year? Like, you did a lot. And even one of my friends, she comes with me to a lot of like the influencer events and things that I do. She was like, girl, I've been going to these influencer events with you since January. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we've gone to so many events. What do you mean you've done nothing? You've accomplished nothing. And you've traveled to a bunch of places. So it's like, sometimes you forget that you're really that girl, that you're doing what you need to do. Especially when you start comparing yourself to other people, sometimes you forget the things you've done. I think like later in the week or something like that, like my sister, she basically sent me like a video. Like, you know what? You should do one of these. I guess basically telling me that I should also create like my own highlight reel. Essentially, she was just telling me to like look at my accomplishments. Like, I should document my accomplishments. Actually realize, you know, like, hey girl, like you've been doing stuff, like you actually did something. So that brings me into number 2, which is a mindset shift. Like we gotta shift your mind. You need a mindset shift. So instead of just thinking about all the things that you need to do or you haven't done, think about the things that you have done. Think about the things that you have accomplished. Listen, I'm a content creator. If I said I was gonna sit down and look through every single one of the videos that I recorded throughout the year and make that real, like that would stress me out. Maybe if you had told me to do that in the past, with the amount of videos I have on my phone, that in itself would stress me out. Obviously, like that's a lot of work for some people. Like you don't have to sit down and create a video of a highlight reel, but I mean, if you're a visual person, that is actually a good thing to do. For me personally, something that I've been doing is taking screenshots. So I've been getting into the habit of documenting things, and yes, there's a lot of things that I want to do and a lot of things I haven't done, but what about the things that I have done? Whether that means journaling and writing down the things that you've accomplished, the things that you've done. I love my friends, I really do. Like they praise me a lot. Like they're always in my head talking about, yeah girl, like you really doing what you need to do. Like yes girl, yes. But the problem is it goes in here and then it goes right here, in and out. I even caught myself talking to my friends. They were over at my house and I was talking to them about like another influencer, and I was like, yeah, but you know, she's a real influencer. And they both looked at me and they were like, what do you mean a real influencer? Like girl, you're a real influencer too. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like she's an actual real influencer. And they're like, girl, like don't say that, like you are a real influencer. Moments like that, sitting down, writing that down. But me, I am also a visual person. So like for example, sometimes when I share things online, like let's say a TikTok or a video, and somebody comments on it and they're like, oh my god, like I cannot remember it right now at the top of my head, which is why I said you gotta document it, you gotta take screenshots. I probably have some on my phone. There are people like they'll message me and like, oh my god, like you helped me out so much. Sometimes you don't realize the things you've done until people tell you, like, oh my god. You're not always gonna hear that noise. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes people are admiring you from afar. And I'm not gonna lie, that is true, because the amount of people that like come up to me, like they probably won't engage with me like online, whatever, but later when I see them, they're like, oh my god girl, like you are doing what you need to do. Like I love what you're doing, your quality is A1. If I hadn't had that conversation with them in person, or they hadn't messaged me to tell me that, in my head, if it's quiet, then nobody cares. But honestly, like there are people that care, they're just quiet in the background. So any moment or chance you have to write down what you've accomplished, what people have praised you for, taking screenshots of compliments or messages that your friends have even sent you, girl, turn that to collage. You see how people make vision boards? What can we call that? I feel like that deserves a name too, accomplishment board. But I think we could come up with a better name. I'm gonna have to think about it. Printing that out, putting that on a wall, or even having that as your screen saver, I mean wallpaper on your phone. Yeah, but yes, document. And you see, I spent a lot of that time talking about my friends, my sister, like the people around me. That is also important. When it comes to imposter syndrome, you need to make sure you're spending time around people that make you feel good. If you have friends that always have something negative to say, they never have anything positive to say, find a different friend group. Just get rid of your friend group. Like me personally, I'd rather be by myself than be around people that are just negative all the time, never have anything positive to say. You gotta switch it up, because the more you spend time around negative people, the more you'll have negative thoughts in your head about yourself. And that is not cool at all. Like how are you supposed to get out of feeling like you don't deserve something if the people around you are making you feel like you don't deserve it either? Even though sometimes in my head I even have imposter syndrome about that. I'm like, yeah, my friends don't really care. They really don't. Honestly, if I really think about it, like they always remind me who the F I am. And you need to spend your time around those type of people. It was like the example that I gave you guys earlier, or even when I hit 10K on TikTok. Let me tell you something, I did not tell anyone. I celebrated that. Like I saw the number 10 to 10K on TikTok, because that was the first platform that I grew to 10K on. And the funny thing is, I was actually with my friend when that happened, but I didn't say anything to her. Like I kept quiet. Like I was just screaming internally in my head. I don't know if it was a few days later or like a week later, why did they pop up at my house with a cake and 10K? Nah, seriously. Those are the type of people that you need to surround yourself around. Finding good friends is not for the weak. Like, there are people that are blessed with good friends, and there are people that are still working on finding those friends. But girl, you will find those people. And honestly, even if it isn't your friends, like even your family, like think about the family members you spend time with. Like, that's key too, because there can be toxic people around you, and you need to, you know, they need to move. And the other thing is, you need to learn how to accept compliments. And this is something I struggle with too. Another girlie can be like, you look good, girl, and I'm gonna be like, well, not as good as you. Like, immediately deflecting the compliment, not even saying thank you. Like, yes, girl, you think I look good, but I think you look even better. Like, I think that's like, you know, a good response. But girl, you need to learn how to accept compliments. I remember I was having an annual review with my manager. Tell me why this lady, she called me out and she was like, girl, like, you really don't know how to accept the compliment. I was like, what are you talking about? We went on this whole conversation about like first generation children basically not being able to accept compliments. I don't know, the more I thought about it, like I really thought about the fact that, I mean, this could be maybe a part of the reason I have imposter syndrome. I honestly don't know. I could get 100 on an exam and my parents are trying to figure out why I didn't get 102. Like, they always want you to do better. That is what imposter syndrome is. So you could be doing good, like you could be doing great, you could be doing excellent, but you never think that you're doing good enough. You always think that you could do better, or somebody else is doing better, or you can be in a place that you don't think that you're even deserving of, wondering like how you even fit into the room, or do you even belong? Yeah, I grew up like in a household where like if you did what you were supposed to do, that was good, but you should do even more. Like you can always do better, basically. That's what it was. I wasn't used to getting compliments on achievements. So obviously when I was having this annual review with my manager, I was just like I did the job. I did what I was supposed to do. Why are you telling me that I did great? Like, I was supposed to do great, you know? You feel me? Yeah, but you know, we're changing all of that. We're going to learn how to accept compliments. I look good? Thank you. You look good too. You know, acknowledge it. Thank you. But yeah, girl, we gotta learn how to accept compliments. And I think I'm just gonna end with this. Something that I heard that I will never forget is that the GPS is silent when you're on the right path. You won't hear from the GPS unless you're going the wrong way. And that's just how life is, basically. So those are some things that I'm doing to overcome imposter syndrome. But yeah, we gotta get that out of our system. Like when we walk into a room, know that you are that girl. Like, you deserve to be in that spot and nobody else, because you work hard to get there. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
Hey, yes sir, that's her, but it wasn't like that back when I met her. The lavish life from all the dose money. Before the double R, I had to hitchhike some. Her friends didn't like dudes like us, but I arrested the coochie and the feelings got cuffed. Spiderweb sex must have got caught up, but there's more to it. I remember once saying let's on the peons. Let's go to Vegas and watch Celine.